All right. I am Mr. Beat, and we're doing another live stream where I get to talk to really cool people who are running for Congress. Again, according to Ballotpedia, there are 2,500 people approximately running for Congress in these upcoming midterms in November 2026. And tonight we're speaking with four of them. I've got two more from Indiana because I guess I love Indiana so much, but Indiana has a primary tomorrow, so we had to get them on quickly. I have another one from Ohio, Ohio also has a primary tomorrow, and then another one from Florida. I have endorsed a lot of candidates from Florida. Florida is they're ready for change down there. It's kind of funny because Ron DeSantis is like, "Oh, I'm gonna gerrymander," but I think he actually dummy mandered. If you don't know what that means, look it up. It means like you think you're going to help your political party in power, but you're actually making districts more competitive. Anyway, so I'm excited tonight, and we're gamifying it. Tonight we've got a game. That's why I'm dressed up in a suit. I don't mess around. And so we're going to have some fun with this. So I'm going to bring the four out here, and then they'll introduce themselves. They'll tell me about their districts and why they are running for Congress. So everybody put your feet and hands together for these four lovely people. Woo! I forgot to tell you all this too. When we do the game, the spin the wheel game, you got to chant just like the game shows, the cheesy game shows. Spin the wheel. We forgot to practice that before. Can we try it right now? Unmute your microphones. Make sure. Let's try this. Okay, we're gonna just do a warm up here. Okay, it's time to spin the
wheel. Oh, guys, we need some work, gang. I don't know.
All right. And I believe
internet.
in us to show up when we do it. You know.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a lag with the internet connection, but it's okay. We'll practice. So we're gonna start with Sean. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about your campaign.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Connolly. I am running for Congress here in Ohio's 6th district, which is Eastern Ohio. It's geographically a fairly large district. It covers a big chunk. We're right on the border, so we have a lot of river towns. We have a lot of Appalachian little towns. Gerrymandering, yay. So we are kind of cut up in a weird way. But we are also the poorest district in Ohio, unfortunately, and that really kind of plays into why I decided to run and why I decided to do this. As you guys can tell, I am a tattoo artist, so I'm not in the political world at all. I just saw that we needed change. We need change very badly, and that is what I want to do, and I believe that we can do it, especially through the chaos right now. There is this need to change, and people, I do believe, are ready for it, and we're just trying to deliver that for them. So
thank you, Sean. And now we'll go over to Branden. Introduce yourself and your campaign.
Hey, my name is Branden Scrivener. I'm running for Florida in Congress for Federal District 12. I am a working class father and husband, father of 2 young girls. No background in politics. The guy who's been here, Gus Villarakas, he's been in office forever. And I figure there's time to change, time to do something. I'm really focused on government reform. So our views align on that.
Thank you, Branden. And shout out to all the families out there. My daughters are awesome. They're watching tonight. Probably not. But okay, let's go down to Jackson. Introduce yourself.
I'm Jackson Franklin. I'm running in Indiana's 5th Congressional District. I'm a grassroots progressive. I'm an Army combat medic. I've deployed overseas. I'm also a paramedic. I've worked on the ambulance. I'm running to make healthcare affordable, get out of these endless wars in the Middle East, get money out of politics, and yes, uncap the House. And thank you so much, Mr. B, for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, the audio sounding okay to everyone else? It was a little choppy.
Yeah, the connection kind of seems a little like it's going down.
Yeah. If are you on Wi-Fi, Jackson?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to fix it. I'll mute myself and I'll try to fix it.
Okay, you might have to log off and back on. That works sometimes, but all right. Glad to have you though. Very exciting. Younger candidates, all of you. Okay, and Drew, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, my name is Drew Cox, and I am running for Indiana's 4th congressional district, which is kind of the west side of the state, west wrapping around Indianapolis. My mom is a teacher. She's in her 36th year, actually, right now of elementary education. My dad's a farmer. I joined the Marine Corps in 2008, and I was discharged in 2012 honorably. And after I got out of the Marine Corps, I went to college for a while and got a master's degree at IU and then a doctorate at Illinois, and then got a teaching job at Purdue University. So it's kind of interesting timing, like everything I've kind of been working towards for a long time has finally kind of come together. But then Trump got elected, and it's like I just bought a house, I got a car, I got a car paid off, I got a job, and then that happened, and I was like, I need to do something about this. I think ICE is the main reason that prompted me to run, watching ICE terrorize communities of color and blue communities in a very targeted way. But beyond that, building the campaign on just going around and seeing what's important to people. That's what has been lacking in our current government, I think. Just no representation, no accountability. So I'm building the platform off what everybody in the 4th district wants.
Heck yeah. Did everybody else get a chance to answer the question about why they're running? I feel like not everybody did. Branden, why are you running?
I'm running to be the change that I want to see. I didn't know I was going to get into politics. I kept waiting for someone to come along and do something on either side. I just saw parties changing, faces changing, but the same people made it out on top. So they were redistricting this year, and the requirements are a little bit less. So I figured if it was going to be any year, it's going to be this one.
Heck yeah, why not now? I do feel like these are special times. Like we're on the cusp of something really dramatic in American history. And I don't say that lightly as somebody who teaches American history. Okay. Oh, you look. It looks like the connection is a little bit better. Jackson let's go ahead and test you out. Why are you running, Jackson? Oh, okay. He's still okay. Sean, why are you running?
To put the working class back in the driver's seat of this government. Our politicians, our government as a whole is so disconnected from reality and what we, the working class, actually live through day to day. And we're never going to speak to that unless we put the working class back into the driver's seat. And that is what I'm trying to do.
I love it. I just realized everybody tonight has facial hair. It's a beautiful thing. We need more people with facial hair going, and that includes
like a girl more, but
that includes the ladies, more bearded ladies in Congress. Okay, Jackson, how's it? Let's test it out. You were fine before we went live. Dang it. Oh, you're still muted here.
My audio sounds pretty bad, I think.
Yeah. That was my phone. Sorry. Yeah. Are you unmuted?
Yes, I think I'm having some technical difficulties.
Yeah. Dang it.
Not bad on my end.
Yeah. It sounds like you sound like a robot now.
It's very fitting for the May 4th. Sounds like Darth Vader.
Yeah. I don't know if you. It would be cool to have a Optimus Prime. Someone says you sound like Optimus Prime. So I don't know. Well, I guess just keep working on that. I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to continue to try to work on it, okay?
Okay, sounds good. At least we can understand you a little bit. All right, so let's pivot to, of course, my main issue, but then I promise there's people in the chat. They're already getting sick of me bringing this issue up, but clearly you all reached out to me in some way or another. You found out that I was endorsing folks who added Uncapping the House, expanding the size of the House of Representatives to your platform. All of you have done that, and I thank you so much for doing that. But if you could just speak briefly about why this issue with something that's like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, of course, I'll add this to my platform. Let's go ahead and start with Drew this time.
Well, when one district has 800,000 people and the number of representatives hasn't changed for over 100 years, or right around 100 years. So 800,000 people is just too huge for one representative, but also the problem that I'm building my entire campaign on is like your representatives, even no matter what size your district is, are not available anyway, and they're not beholden to you. They're beholden to their donors. And so making it so it's multiple things at once. One is the district's too big and it's already really heavily gerrymandered. You know, the district of the 4th district is a map drawn entirely for the purpose of silencing the people that did not draw the map. That's what all of the maps that we probably live in are. So increased access to your government, a better representative democracy, simply put.
Very good. Yes. How about Branden? Why did you decide to add Uncapping the House to your platform?
Yeah, so I actually started my campaign off with expanding Congress, so it has a similar idea, just uncapping now.
That's right. You already had this idea.
Yeah, well, I got it from you. I've been a subscriber for a couple of years, so I saw your video, you know, the original one a couple of years ago. So that was going in my brain. And when I decided to run, I threw that in there, along with my government reform platform on term limits and campaign finance reform, just trying to bring more accountability and transparency to our government on both sides.
Yeah, that outside the box thinking I mean, it's something that most people don't even think about, and you were bold enough to already take the initiative to add it when most people are like, what? You have to explain it to them. Probably you're probably spending half of your time as a teacher trying to campaign. Ah, man, we lost him again. Hopefully Jackson, we figure that out with him. But all right. So Sean, why did you decide to add Uncapping the House to your platform?
Similar to Drew and Branden, but just to have more representation, more seats at the table. In my district, it's 780,000 people. It is about a 2-hour north to south, 2-hour east to west district. So it just strips us away of our voice. It's the Congress is our closest link to the federal government in our district, and I believe that it shouldn't be, $750,000 or million people. So just to have our voice back, to have more of a say in what happens with our government, and I think that it's kind of, again, a no-brainer.
Have our voice back. I love that, man. Our voice has been gone for so long, and so has Jackson. Yeah. Is he still a robot?
Hey guys, I did a quick phone swap, and I think maybe that resolves the issue.
Okay, fingers crossed. So while we have you now, Jackson, why did you decide to add Uncapping the House to your platform? I know I kind of spammed you. I know that, but
yes. So I strongly believe that the people of this country deserve representation, and at the lower levels, when this country started, it was, as you point out, 1 to every 30,000 people had a representative in the House. And then, it's been, almost 100 years since we've had an increase. So we just need more representation, bring it closer to home, someone who can actually listen to you and not be like one of nearly 800,000 voices. And of course, it is just, fill it with new people, fill Congress as much as we can to actually give representation to the working class of this country.
I think so many people right now are just like, re-elect no one at this point. Like, get rid of them all. Those vibes have never been stronger my entire life. I say that as a 44-year-old man. Okay, so we got primaries again. I said this earlier. Let's remind everyone, if you live in Indiana, you've got a primary tomorrow, and I need you to vote. And I need you to vote for Drew and Jackson if you live in the 4th or 5th. and also Ohio. If you live in Ohio tomorrow, you have a primary. You need to vote. And I think, Sean, I think the district that you're in, I was there last summer.
Oh, really?
Isn't it Youngstown area?
Yep, Youngstown.
Yeah,
that's
so-
actually so I'm from Mahoning County, so I'm right around Youngstown.
Vlogging through history, he lives in your neck of the woods. I think he's in your district.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I will have to check him out. Nice.
Yeah, we'll have to send this video to him. Okay, so now it's time. Okay, so let's get all excited. Let me get the music playing. I forgot about the music. All right, are you ready?
Simultaneously.
Are you ready for
Spin the wheel.
Okay. Okay, so how this works is the game is very simple. You spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, you have to tell the audience where you stand on that issue. All right. Let me turn this down here. That was kind of loud. Okay, so yeah, again, very simple. We'll go clockwise or up and down, I guess, looking at the screen. So Sean will start us off. You'll spin the wheel, which really I'm spinning the wheel for you. Whatever it lands on, you have to talk about where you stand on the issue, and none of this like vague talk. Be specific, man. All right, ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Environment. Whoa, that's okay. All right. So Sean, where do you what's your platform for the environment?
So I'm a supporter of the Green New Deal. I am also a major part of my platform is public transportation, specifically high-speed rail. I feel as if that is one that can do a lot of things for our district here in Ohio, but also it is something that lends to, you know, working towards reversing this climate change, because we have 1,000,001 dumpster fires going on, and we forget that our planet is burning. So I think that we need bold action. I think that we need it fast. I want to see that federal investment build up that infrastructure, that renewable, sustainable energy infrastructure. I want to get away from being dependent on fossil fuels. I just feel like I know you said just be specific, but other than that, I think that there's a million things that we need to be doing. We need to do them rapidly. And I will absolutely be fighting for that, in the office. So.
Absolutely. You did a good job answering that specifically. I will say that all of these candidates that are with us tonight, if you go to their websites, they're in the description of this video. All of them have very long, specific reforms. None of this, like there's this guy running for Senate in Kansas right now against the incumbent, and everyone's excited about him. Then I go to his webpage and he doesn't even freaking have anything under policies there. Like, dude, where do you stand on every issue? I'm about to pull my hair out. Anyway, okay, let's our next contestant, Drew. Let's spin the
wheel.
This is so cringy. I love it. Universal health care. I know that's Jackson's big issue. Yeah, we see behind it. But yeah, sorry. You are not playing in this round, Jackson. Sorry. So Drew, what's your policy for universal health care?
Our plan is a single payer healthcare system to take care of all of the citizens of this country. I think that should be the main priority of the country, is to take care of all of its citizens. So many other countries guarantee healthcare. We are the richest, and yet we don't. So I think that's a huge failure. I have multiple family members feeling the effects of being kicked off of Medicaid, while at the same time, our president is standing in front of the country and saying we don't have the ability to take care of people, but we do need 1.5 trillion for the military. It's just so obvious. It's just such a moral issue. Our our Congress has been taken over by all these people that have been bought and paid for, and that's why we can't have universal health care, why we can't have nice things, why we can't take care of our citizens. So elect grassroots candidates, and we will take care of all of our citizens.
All right, I found the applause button. All right, good job. And whoop, that's the gong sound. That means we have a super chat. So Harrison, Harrison says, I'm going to use this wheel next time I get together with my family at Thanksgiving to decide what we're going to talk about. Oh yeah, absolutely. Your Thanksgiving is going to be fire if you do that. Okay. Now we are up to Branden. So I'm not going to do the spin your wheel thing anymore. I think, but people, feel free to do it at home. Okay. So Branden's going to spin the wheel. Go ahead, spin it, Branden. I'm just messing with
Spin the wheel.
What are you for real right now? Are we
Environment.
Okay? I guess you got environment again.
Yeah. So for me, environment is a big issue in my county. Every time I go out and talk to people, they're always bringing back to me, we got to protect our environment. We don't want AI data centers all around our area, taking up all of our resources. So I think that is a main issue for me here is AI data centers. We shouldn't be using our taxpayer money on that. And I don't think that it's fair residents to have to pay for that power to generate that. I don't have this down, but I had the thought of looking at renewable energy. If AI is not going to go anywhere, if we could power it with renewable energy instead of taking from the grid. But I have to pursue that further. But AI data centers is a big thing for me in environment.
This is a new thing. I know. I'm glad that you're taking this issue on because a lot of both Democrats and Republicans and independents are all angry as heck about these freaking data centers that are popping up around the country using driving energy prices up. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. All right. So now we got Jackson to spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this one. Wealth inequality.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, wealth inequality right now in America is worse than it ever has been in American history. The top 1% own more wealth than the bottom 93% of income earners combined. So what we are fighting for once in Congress, when we continue to fight for, is having living wages, strong unions. I'm in favor of taxing the rich, making the rich pay their fair share in taxes. I believe once you hit like $1 billion, all right, like maybe like a wealth tax at 100% after $1 billion. You won capitalism. Good job. You get a park named after you. But now can we feed the children on the street? And living wages, I'm fighting for a $25 minimum wage. I'm fighting to make sure that we pass the PRO Act, which is the Protect the Right to Organize Act. And here in Indiana, I don't know about you guys, we are a right to work for less state, as I call it. The PRO Act would ban nationwide these right to work states and making sure that everyone has the right to unionize, power to negotiate, make fair contracts. And these are just some of the ways we tackle wealth inequality, as well as just instead of using our taxpayer money to go, and I'm merging two issues here, it all connects really, but instead of using our taxpayer money to go to bomb schools and hospitals overseas, we use that taxpayer money to lift up the working class people of this nation. We can have universal daycare, we can have Medicare for all, school meals, broadband, internet, but right now it's getting funneled to that top 1%. So we are fighting for a nation that represents all people and not just the very wealthy.
I knew you'd have a lot to say about that. That gong sound means we have another super chat. Election history, subscribe to his channel. It is amazing. He knows a lot about political science, political history, American political history in particular. He was defending Spirit Airlines today on social media, and I was talking trash about Spirit Airlines. And so I think that's what. But yeah, I know we disagree on Spirit Airlines. Sorry about that. Okay, back to the back to the show.
I'd throw in something about that Spirit Airlines. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there was a TikTok going around about a guy talking about like nationalizing Spirit Airlines and buying it through the government. I don't know. I feel like there could be something there, but yeah.
It smells like socialism.
Oh man, all that
These
greedy
the means of
socialism.
these the means of transportation.
Exactly.
What are they going to do next? What are they going to have? Social security next? What? This is ridiculous. Okay, sorry. We're back up. Sean, we're staying with you. So it's
Awesome.
time to spin the wheel. Oh, good one.
Awesome.
Term limits.
So
Both Congress and Supreme Court. What do you think?
yes, so I absolutely support term limits. I know that is something that will be kind of a monumental task to implement. However, I think that also has to go hand in hand with getting money out of politics, because I do see there could be unintended consequences if you just implement term limits, but then don't get money out. And then you could, it could just be another way for corporations to continuously buy politicians. And honestly, I think it would kind of make a fire sale for them, because they'd just be able to buy them a lot cheaper. But yeah, and as well for SCOTUS, as well as expanding the bench too for the Supreme Court. So, I think that it is something that we absolutely need to kind of gear towards. I know that might be something that it'll take a long time to do that, but I want to work towards that goal. Absolutely.
Ambitious. Yeah, I like it. All right. Drew's up next to spin the wheel. This is exciting. Oh, I forgot I put this on here. Okay, maybe quickly I'll give you another spin, but maybe another reason why Uncapping the House is a good idea. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we already covered it, but yeah, I support Uncapping the House, making it possible for everyone in the United States to have more adequate representation, because right now each district has about 800,000 constituents. So that's just way too many for one representative, and the representatives that we have right now are unavailable as is. So uncap the House.
Where's all my Delaware peeps at? Any Delaware folks in the audience? Because you only have one representative and you have over 1 million people. Okay, let's spin the wheel again for Drew. Here we go. That's a good spin. Here we go. Now we're talking. Universal basic income. That's a big
Man.
one.
This is the one thing on this entire list that has not really been developed by our campaign, nor have we talked much about it on the trail. But I do support universal basic income, the idea of our incredible wealth inequality. It's something that could also stimulate the economy. We have such a non-progressive taxation system right now, like we were talking about earlier. Your top marginal tax rate is 35% or 37%. Our corporate tax rate is 21%. In the 1950s, we had top tax rates of 90%. We had Republican Dwight Eisenhower had a 90% corporate tax rate in the 1950s, back in the glory days, is when people talk about it. So something I'll definitely look into more, but the idea, I like it a lot. I think it would stimulate the economy. It would reshape our society from the ground up, which is the way that you have to do it.
It's not that radical. Alaska already has a basic income, and Richard Nixon wanted a negative income tax, which is basically a form of universal basic income for those who are going through poverty. So yeah, I'm glad this issue is becoming more mainstream. And what's that sound? It's another super chat. Okay. Aiden, what a great group of candidates. Yes. Extra big shout out to Drew Cox and Jackson Franklin, Indiana's GOATs. Looks like we got somebody from Indiana here. That's great. All right.
Thank you.
That was real applause, by the way. I'm so glad I found that button. Okay, so we are moving on to Branden. Spin the wheel. I love how you're still doing that. Thank you for still doing that. Insider trading in Congress.
So this is a big issue. I feel like everyone can kind of, we see it, but it's not being addressed. Kind of like other things going on in government transparency and accountability. So this is definitely part of my platform to bring that accountability and transparency. I think if you want to invest like a generalized fund, that's fine, just like anyone else, but you shouldn't be using your personal knowledge to giving yourself wealth gain. Like that's not what the job is for. It's to help our district, not ourselves, I feel like.
And there's actually a law. There's a bill I think that exists to do this, to make it, to ban stock trading for members of Congress, basically.
Restored Trust in Congress Act.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, the
One of the
political
few
integrity.
bipartisan ones.
Absolutely bipartisan. Yeah. All right. Sounds like we're all on the same page with that. Most Americans are. I mean, probably 90% of Americans are, and yet they, folks in power, think we're so divided on everything. All right. Jackson is up next to spin the wheel. Oh, not again. We're getting repeats. That's okay.
Yeah.
You go. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. So it's much of what Drew said. I'm a big proponent and advocate of UBI. You go to jacksonfranklinforcongress.com. Shameless plug there. You will find universal basic income on my website. And it's as Drew said, of course, that, talk about wealth disparity, the wealth inequality in America. This is a great way to boost, level the playing field. And it's worth noting, in addition, that during the stimulus checks during the COVID pandemic, most people use their checks not to buy some like luxury car, something fantastic, right? It was spent on groceries. It was spent on, paying rent and like need items, clothes for their kids. So a UBI system, much like the communist utopia of Alaska, the Soviet Republic, this would balance the playing field and make sure that working people have enough monthly to just take care of the basic needs, like a basic safety net to take care of the people across this country, while the rich hoard all the wealth like dragons, like greedy dragons. So we got to level the playing field and have UBI, and it boosts local economies. And as the famous Joe Biden quote about the stimulus, like hurts nobody, helps everyone. So definitely we got to have UBI, universal basic income.
Thank you. Somebody asked, is this for the U.S. midterms? Yes, it is. And this is a great opportunity to remind the audience, if you're just tuning in for the first time, these four folks I've endorsed for Congress. All four of them are running for the U.S. House of Representatives in different districts around the country. And you can find out more information about Sean, Drew, Branden, and Jackson in the description of this video. Please check out their websites. Do your research on the candidates. Obviously, you need to make sure that you actually agree with them on most issues. You're never going to find a perfect candidate, but these four are pretty dang good. So I'm hoping that you're all realizing that. Okay, back to the game. I don't know why I just talk like that. It's how talk show hosts talk. Okay, so we're back up to the top of the lineup here with Sean. So it's time for Sean to spin the wheel. We're getting this is not. I swear, this is like iPod Shuffle. I swear it's not really randomized. But go ahead, Sean. You haven't talked about wealth inequality yet.
Okay, so obviously we have tremendous wealth inequality. I'm in favor of taxing billionaires out of existence. I think, like Jackson said down there. And it's also not just taxing them out of existence and then offering no solutions. I really believe that we need some bold changes just across the board in this country and in our government. And so I think that our entire tax system needs to be untangled and simplified and just made in an equitable way. And then we need to take that money and just reinvest it back into our communities, building up our infrastructure, modernizing our country. Because it's insane. There's absolutely no reason why we can't do any of that, why we can't have high-speed rail, why we can't have universal basic income or universal healthcare, universal childcare, any of that. We are the wealthiest country in the world. We have the resources, we have the money. It is simply just getting this corrupt politics out of the equation, and then we can finally start to work towards that. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I forgot that applause thing was there. All right, Drew, it's time to spin the wheel. Please get something new. Doge cuts. There we go.
So for about 5 seconds, I was enthusiastic with the idea of Doge, maybe 2 or 4 seconds, but Doge basically reminds me of the movie Naked Gun. I'll tell you in a second, but the military, the proposed 1.5 trillion, the amount that we already spend, I mean, it's been almost $1 trillion for most years of our lives. You know, it was $800 billion a year on defense just very recently. So the proposal of it doubling to even a higher level is crazy. But that's where all the waste, fraud, and abuse could have been found was with the military. And Doge kind of went right past it. And the scene from the Naked Gun that I'm talking about is they're standing around saying, and not one person on this police force is going to rest until we get to the bottom of this crime. Now let's grab a bite to eat. And that's literally what Doge did. They completely messed that up entirely, and then went and just targeted the most random things, like things that use the word DEI. There are these interviews that are on TV that you can see these guys have no idea what they were doing, and they were just slashing and burning. And the amount of lives that have been lost because of cutting all these things, the richest country in the world, you know, cutting USAID. Like I didn't know what USAID was. I was in Afghanistan and I saw them that uniform. I was like, what's USAID? And someone was basically like, oh, you know how when we mess things up massively overseas, well, they're the ones that come and fix it for us. So, I mean, they do a lot of other things too. But yeah, Doge with completely different people and a completely different mission that could have worked. But the one that we experienced has obviously completely melted down and failed.
All right. Yeah, I think that deserves an applause. Okay. Glad that one came up. Next up, back to Branden. Spin the wheel.
Let's go, Branden. Am I right, guys?
Let's go, Branden.
You want to know how many times?
Yeah. It's starting to LGBT plus rights. I know this is a little bit general of a category, but just whatever it's top of mind, Branden.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think everybody deserves rights, you know. I don't think it's controversy, or we shouldn't be taken away from anybody's rights. It doesn't matter who you love or what you look like. Equity for all.
It's that simple. I love it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to go on it. Yeah. Okay. So moving right along, then back to Jackson. Spin the wheel.
Spin the
I'm getting
wheel.
quicker. Have you got this one yet? Have you got environment yet?
I personally have not, no.
Okay, then this is fine.
Though you're going to hear a lot of the same things. But
That's okay.
I'm also in favor, as well as AOC and our good friend Sean up here, if your screen looks like mine, of the Green New Deal. We need to create hundreds of thousands of jobs all across this country and ensure that we transform our energy system and save the planet. You know, the planet isn't simply just dying. Our ecosystems are being murdered by greedy fossil fuel companies that maximize their profits at the expense of things all around you, life all around you. So I want to have a strict and strong carbon tax on the fossil fuel industry, as well as, of course, going after the data centers that are polluting the waterways. You know, for every one ChatGPT response, it's like dumping out 7 water bottles. So we need to make sure that we do hold them accountable for the crimes they have committed. It's ecocide, as we say. And eventually, in my view here, you shouldn't have a profit incentive to destroy the planet. Like, these are our kids we're talking about. These are the future generations long before, like, outside of we're even capable of imagining. I think that we should nationalize the fossil fuel industry, because you shouldn't have a for-profit motive to kill people. It's not right. And we need to make sure that we take care of the future generations. It's our responsibility. We don't just live on this planet. It's not just humanity. It's everything in the world. And we have a responsibility to take care of the planet, because we are the planet.
Yeah, wow, you fit a lot of stuff in there. It's I think a lot of that, again, it's ambitious. You're thinking outside the box. You're not afraid to just you're going to make some people upset by saying some of that stuff, but you firmly believe in your heart that it's the right thing to do to help humanity. So you're saying it anyway. I love it. Okay. Back up to Sean to spin. Spin! The
wheel.
Finally, childcare. Oh,
There we
everybody's okay.
So I'm in favor of universal childcare. I think that we need to expand the public education system to cover that. I think that it is, with this manufactured affordability crisis coming in, that is forced upon us, younger people are not able to even consider having kids because it's just way too expensive. And so I also believe that ensuring that there is childcare for everybody in this country, that just as a society growing up and going through the school system together at a younger age is just important for all of our development as we get older. And so, honestly, simple answer is I support universal healthcare or childcare.
I guess both of those, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. We're back to Drew to spin the wheel. Affordable housing.
So we talked, there was one bipartisan bill, Restore Trust in Congress. That's bipartisan, but the Road to Housing Act that I think did that pass the Senate is Tim Scott and Elizabeth Warren. So that's another rare bipartisan thing. But the the Road to Housing Act, for instance, makes it illegal, which is, I think, one of the biggest things, is making it not legal for multinational corporations to buy up a bunch of homes and then sell them to us for super expensive. So, and another thing is we need to deregulate building. There's a lot of bureaucracy with building, and if you want to have homelessness, then make it harder to build. If you want to get rid of homelessness, make it easier to build. Make it more possible, or make it so that multinational corporations can't buy up all your residential homes and jack up the price and make it incredibly expensive for everyone. So homelessness is another big thing. I don't know how much I should talk about homelessness, but I went to this documentary viewing. It was called Beyond the Bridge, and it was and so anybody that has the chance, watch the documentary Beyond the Bridge. It's so enlightening about homelessness and talking about how we get there. One person was hit by a drunk driver that didn't have insurance, and this middle class regular dude that was just working a job all of a sudden had all this medical debt and all of a sudden became homeless because of a drunk driving incident, because we didn't take care. So healthcare and mental health and homelessness and BlackRock and all these, it's all intertwined. It's not working for us.
I think a lot of what you just said, Republicans are nodding their heads. And by the way, I should say, Branden's you're running as an independent, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you got to the general. So also, I want to say homelessness is one of the issues I'm most passionate about too. I made some videos recently about it, and we know what to do to tackle that issue because other countries have done it. And it's just one of those things that's frustrating, because it's okay, already have a blueprint in place. And this is one of the most important issues. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I'm getting too serious now. Let's have some fun with spin the wheel. Okay. And Branden's up, so he's going to spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Okay, having too much fun. Surveillance state. Yeah, let's go. Surveillance. I'm sorry.
Pro? That's
Yeah, so another big issue in my community is the flock cameras. I'm sure it's same everywhere. It seems like the cameras are just popping up all over the place, and there's not a lot of say. There's just one in my neighborhood recently. They just seem to be coming up all over the place. I don't think that the government should be able to spy on us, essentially, and buy our private data from those flock cameras, because we need stricter regulations on that. I mean, if they want to use them for safety, that's fine, but we should require like warrants, like we would for anything else.
The Fourth Amendment. Yeah, remember that? Remember the Fourth Amendment? That was a good one. All right. That's the gonk sound, which means we have another super chat. I'm trying to get these. They're paying money, so I'm trying to show them some love here. Thank you for this, guys. Please vote to reform FISA 702 and roll back this. Oh, perfect. Good segue. Roll back the surveillance state to protect our civil liberties and basic human rights, support transparency and accountability for those in government. So yeah, FISA 702. Looks like we're all going to have some homework to search that up after this. All right. So now we are back to Jackson. It's time to spin the Please get some.
We have fun right here. Yeah,
we get the same thing. Okay, well, it's the
No,
same topic.
my goodness.
Surveillance state.
Well,
do you agree with what? Yeah, do you agree what Branden was saying, or what would you like to add on or disagree?
Making sure that the Fourth Amendment is upheld. I don't really have all that much to add on that note. It's pretty well covered. Just doing research, hearing out constitutional advocates on this issue, and making sure that your surveillance is upheld. Get the permit, and making sure there's not an authoritarian government spying on you. I am calling for privacy rights, much like that the EU has in Europe. But it's going to be way better here in America because it's American. So making sure that we have privacy protection laws all across the country.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so we're going to hopefully get through, I would say, at least 3 or 4 more rounds before we wrap up tonight. So hopefully we'll get some, this dang wheel won't be repeating itself. Let's see how well Sean can spin it. Give it a good spin. Come on, big money.
Come on, Sean.
Now we're talking.
All right, there we go.
Epstein files.
So I do want to say that it is funny because all of these topics on this wheel, I feel like, and I'm sure probably for the other candidates here, are no-brainer, type things. But the fact that it's that way in our country right now, that we don't expect politicians to just be like, yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. I don't know, insane. That's a little tangent that I want to go on. However, Epstein files, we need to release the full files, and we need to start arresting people, and people need to start rotting in jail. It's as simple as that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist on the applause there.
No, it's fine. It's just like I said. I mean, it really is simple. It's insane that we have this trove of information of the largest sex trafficking, operation in history that also happens to control so many other facets of our lives, and it's just sitting right there, and we're debating about it. It's no, these people need to rot in jail.
So pedophilia and rape are bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and the people that do those things should be. Yeah, I mean, the president's a felon, so there's that. And I just thought the crime was okay now. Okay, but thank you for clearing that up. It's morally wrong to do bad things. All right. Okay, so let's go on back to Drew to spin the wheel. Oh, you already got this one, so we'll have to respin. Oh, Have you got term limits yet? I don't think you have.
No,
Okay.
no, I have not. So term limits is an example of one that we took a poll on, and I was thinking that term limits would be 18 years, 6 terms or 9 terms as a representative, 6 terms as a senator. But then the poll, people said, actually, no, we think 12 years is what it should be. I was like, okay, 12 years is our policy then. So
Really?
12 years maximum for Congress. And as far as the Supreme Court goes, we haven't really fleshed that one out, but definitely term limits for the SCOTUS in today's age, as you see what they're doing.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's probably, a lot of people that I've endorsed, I think there might be some tiny disagreements on like, okay, how long should the term limits be or whatnot. But I think almost all of them are on board with this idea, which is kind of wild to see so much unity on the, like this is an issue I always bring up when I'm talking to Republicans. A lot of my family's Republicans. A lot of them voted for Trump 3 times. And they're like, term limits. We hate career politicians. Why do or even age limits is another possibility we could bring up. So, okay. Branden, spin the wheel. Oh, a new one.
There we go.
Sick leave.
Sick leave. Yeah. So workers' rights, very important. Everybody should have sick leave. I feel like just like they should have paid paternity leave. I was lucky enough to have that, and it was great. And I think everybody should. You shouldn't have to use your PTO or your sick time either. I don't think that's fair. There should be a separate category for that, and I will definitely advocate for those things.
Okay, yeah. Sounds like you're a fan of a lot of those European countries that do that type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
We're the only developed nation that does not have paid family leave or paid sick leave.
That is true. It is weird too. Like, I know a lot of people they bring up the Scandinavian countries in particular. Like, oh, they're so much happier than we are. Well, they also have a stronger social safety net. The counter argument is always, okay, taxes have to be increased. But I think all of you would probably agree that, okay, probably a higher marginal tax rate. I know, sorry to get us on a tangent here, but how would you pay for it though?
Yeah, the tax rates of the good old years that people are referring to.
Eisenhower.
The 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're much higher than on higher earning folks.
You telling me that in the richest country in the history of the planet, we can have things like universal school meals? What? Yeah. Why can't we have a system that just serves the rich all the time?
Colin.
We
here's
give
the
so
ca-
much money
what
out
about the
to
bottom
Israel,
line?
you know.
I'm thinking about the second quarter's profits. All right.
All right, so we do have a counter argument from Veronica. It's always good to like push back. Term limits obviously are not a perfect solution, and one of the most common counter arguments is that it emboldens lobbyists. It gives lobbyists more power. I always say in response to this, if you're going to have term limits, you got to do something about that as well, about the influence of lobbyists, because it does make it so they gain power when you have a rotating cast of members of Congress. And that's something to think about. Very good point, Veronica. Okay. Now I forgot where we left off. Whose turn was it? Oh, it is Jackson's. Okay, yeah. Jackson, you know what to do. Spin the
wheel.
Oh, we already got this.
I already got
Nope. Yeah, spin again.
I'm hoping to get like War with Iran or something.
Yeah, that's a
like that.
juicy one.
Okay, sick leave again.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it. I added 2 cents out of turn a little bit, but yeah, as well as just paid family leave. Making sure sick leave, paid family leave, all these things. Yeah, human rights. You should have.
Let's spin
time.
again though, because you did. Yeah, let's spin again. I feel bad for you because you're. Doge cuts again, really? Well, but okay, to be fair, Jackson hasn't said anything about Doge cuts, so go ahead.
So yeah, look at it's as I believe Drew said. Look at the military. The Pentagon has failed many audits in a row at this point. We have a military budget that is now exceeding $1 trillion, and you add up, and they're pushing to make it to where it's 1.5 trillion. But yet the people responsible for all that money can't track all of that. Yeah, I think it's the responsibility of the government to track every single penny of that slush fund that we send to the military, as well as many other organizations. Doge, I mean, they were cutting into, for the first time in its existence, Social Security payments were not put out on time. People missed it. And reports came out last month that they, in fact, did, look into people's private personal data that were on Social Security. We need to justify that. We need to make, there's no sense in having Doge, of course. No, not the way that we know it as it is right now. Of course, Elon Musk, now that he's removed now, but he gave more than, I believe, $240 million to President Trump in his re-election campaign. And then he got not elected, no one voted on this. He immediately got put on this position. And that's pay to play. I mean, there's a two-tier justice system. It's the spoils system, like the gilded era all over again. And we need to make sure that Doge, like Drew said, like it's in theory good, but they are just, anytime, it's coming to social programs for us, they gut it. Oh, it serves the rich, like giving Elon like SpaceX or anything. Oh, we have all the money and resources to fund those programs. We always have, as the saying goes, enough money to fund the war, but not enough to feed the poor. We need to make sure we have a system that treats everybody with respect and actually takes care of the working class people the government is supposed to represent.
Yeah, Tupac said that once, I think, in the song. And yeah, shout out to my homie Harry Truman, who he was like the OG Doge in the 1930s, but he actually cut government waste. And where was most of the government waste? It was in the military defense, because it's easier to form little slush funds there. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna spend all this money on caviar for these generals. It's so that it's for defense. Yeah. Anyway. Okay,
true story, by the way. Pete Hegseth got caught buying like a lot of lobsters and stuff. So
that's what it was. Yeah.
Didn't one of the generals buy like a grand piano or something too? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it was.
Wouldn't be surprised. All right, Sean, it's your turn.
All right.
Spin the wheel. Have you commented on sick leave yet?
I haven't. I mean, I'm in favor of workers' bill of rights, and sick leave would be in it. And honestly, I agree with basically everything that Jackson and Branden said. So yeah,
let's give you another spin here because I want to make sure you have. Come
I feel
on,
like
Iran.
So much you can say about it,
Yeah, this wheel's whack. We're gonna have to see. It goes right back to sick leave here. You're taking all the joy out of this. Oh, come on.
We could just pretend it was on.
No, that's not. Don't cheat.
Yeah, it's right next to it.
Okay.
All right. LGBT plus rights. You haven't spoken on that. Oh, I like it. The flag there.
So if that kind of really just encapsulates it. I will defend against any legislation that aims to strip away bodily autonomy or anyone's basic human rights. And that's really all there is to say about it. It was never the trans kids. It was never the drag queens. It was never the immigrants. It was always the billionaires who have created all of these problems that we have. And that is where I will always redirect that conversation whenever it comes out.
Yeah, that's smart. It seems to be class issues are what's resonating right now. And we're done with the culture war stuff.
And as soon as we allow the other side to kind of dictate the narrative that it is controversial to even be aligned with that or stand up for any marginalized community, I look at that as we have already lost, because you allow them then to control the narrative that it is whatever boogeyman they say. And so that's why I find it important that we just always redirect it back to who is the actual cause of these problems that they try to attach marginalized groups to.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep it going here. Drew, spin the wheel. Let's get a good one now. Come on. Wealth inequality. I know you haven't spoken on this. Oh, surveillance state. Have you spoken on this one yet, Drew?
No, I didn't.
Okay, then here we go.
So I'll speak about this one kind of more broadly. The 2001 attacks in New York City basically created or responsible for the Patriot Act, and the Patriot Act has expanded the government's surveillance capabilities. So I think we could repeal the Patriot Act. And I think that, well, one problem though is like, yeah, we all have social media accounts. So it's like we're talking about surveillance while we have the ability, while we have all this data that we use, that we know is being used by actors that are not working in our best interest. So that's a difficult one to talk about because we have all these social media accounts and we're complaining about surveillance. But from the government's perspective, I think that the Patriot Act is like a kind of symbolic as somewhat of a victory for the people that were that were carrying out that attack, because they changed the way that our country, our sense of fear. And that's what acts of terrorism are supposed to do. They're not necessarily supposed to fundamentally change who's in control. It's supposed to change you by fear. And so that became a victim of we became a victim of that. And so we allowed for the Patriot Act to happen. And now we have just increased surveillance and decreased individual freedoms, decreased Fourth Amendment rights, I would say.
Absolutely. We have a question here for all of you. If you don't have anything like strong to say, maybe hold back. But this person here, Kyle, the lovely Kyle, asks, would you be in favor of bringing back the Works Progress Administration and Civilian Conservation Corps? Also, would you vote to impeach Trump's cabinet officials? So whichever of those two questions you feel comfortable answering.
Are we just going down the line, or okay?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Okay. So yes, I am in favor of that. A federal jobs guaranteed. I believe that that's something that we need in this country. I have also kind of toyed around with the idea of creating some type of the Civil Corps of Engineers, being a federalized agency that is able to kind of aid a lot of these. Again, going back to how Ohio, my district is the poorest district in Ohio. We don't have the tax base to kind of fix up a lot of our infrastructure. And I think that having a federalized agency that can kind of come in and aid us in being able to redevelop our cities, our towns, could have some importance. And then on the impeaching Trump's cabinet officials, absolutely. I believe that we need to show that there are consequences to doing what they have done. And if we want to make sure that people understand that there are consequences, people need to go to jail. So.
All right. Anyone else want to chime in?
Drew,
Yeah, I support. I mean, the Works Progress Administration was the part of the New Deal, right? That basically got everyone working. So I haven't talked about the Green New Deal, but I definitely support the Green New Deal. And one thing that the Green New Deal includes is better outcomes. So in addition to like a robust infrastructure of green energy or renewable energy or self-sustaining energy, that also the Green New Deal requires, has certain outcomes for health, water quality, air quality. And Indiana is one of the most polluted states in the country. And so we have, at a time when we have some of the most polluted waterways, and Indianapolis is a very polluted city in terms of air quality, we're trying to bring back coal, which coal is detrimental to the air and the water. The coal ash ponds leach heavy metals after the coal's been burnt. You know, that burnt coal's got all this
And it's
heavy metal
horrible
that
for
goes
the
back into our
economy.
water.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
and it's
There's no
expensive.
economic arguments for it anymore. What are we
Yeah.
doing? It's a special interest. It's just the coal lobbyists. That's all it is. Anyway, sorry to cut you off there.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think look at the New Deal, and let's do a Green New Deal and have better health outcomes, and maybe a comprehensive water plan so that these data centers can't just consume. We don't have a national comprehensive water plan that limits how much water they consume every day. So we need to make them work for us, or they can't come into our communities.
Hartman put it well. I think many Americans want some kind of new deal. You can call it Green New Deal or whatever, but some kind of people need rescued right now. Corporations have won for a long time. The balance need to kind of shift back. Okay.
End fossil fuel
If we would've
subsidies.
called it the Make America Strong and Cool Again deal, it might have passed, honestly. I think naming
Yeah,
it the Green New
just to name
Deal
it.
is
Yeah.
it just they were able to run away with the, green energy and just, yeah.
Jackson,
How
you
many
seem like you
jobs-
had something to say. Yeah. Go ahead, Jackson.
Oh yeah, how many jobs are we going to create if we have high-speed rail across the country? And that would employ so many people working those stations. And also, if your dream job is over in Chicago, you live in the region or like Muncie, Indiana, or something, and you could get there better. That would help employment. The economy would do better. It would tackle that wealth gap that we're seeing. So as well as having a Green New Deal and a New Deal. So yeah, bringing back the CCC, bringing the WPA, definitely on board.
All right, we got an FDR stand here. Okay, Brandon, Brandon, let's Brandon, spin the wheel. We'll get you that.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, we almost forgot about the wheel. Don't forget about the wheel. Have you've already spoke about wealth inequality, right, Brandon?
I mean, we've talked about it quite
All
a
right,
bit.
let's spin it. We'll spin it again here.
Yeah.
Have you spoke about Doge cuts?
I have not, but
Okay,
I'm pretty much in alignment with everybody else here. I think we definitely can be cutting things, but the way that Doge specifically ran was not great. There's a lot of like money that we're given for war crimes, for example, that we could probably cut out and put towards something a little bit better. There's lots of examples of those types of funding that we're doing. But Doge specifically was, I think, didn't pan out the way that they were hoping.
Never got those Doge dividends, did we?
No.
All right. Don't worry. I think we're going to do, if everyone's cool with it, after Jackson does this, we'll do one more round through. Does everyone have time to do that?
Yeah. Well,
okay, cool. Yeah. So I want to make sure we get to Iran. But okay. Jackson's going to spin the wheel, and I have a good feeling about this one.
Yeah. Fingers crossed here.
Oh, so close.
It was basically war on Iran. It was basically war on Iran. It was like so close.
All right. Talk about the war in Iran.
On that note, yes, release the Epstein files. Call me radical. But war in Iran, I'm in the military. I'm an Army combat medic. I deployed overseas. I have friends over in the Middle East right now. My brother-in-law is one of the 2,500 Marines sent to the Persian Gulf. So we got to make sure, our troops are safe, and also our taxpayer money is well spent. But also, most importantly, so not chronological here, of course, of importance, but how about we stop committing war crimes overseas? I think, we used a Tomahawk missile to bomb a girls' school in Iran, which killed 180 school girls between the ages of 7 and 12. Instead of using our taxpayer money to go to blow up schools and hospitals over there, we use that to spend over here, build them up. I don't think we're getting any closer to having universal school meals by blowing up schools in Iran. And it's worthy to point out that more than 80% of our Congress is lobbied by AIPAC. And I'm proud to say that I'm never going to take any APAC money. I'm endorsed by the counter group of APAC called Track APAC. They're the ones that do that, black and white. And then I'm fortunate enough to be a green background, all colorful and filled in, because we need to stand against the overseas wars, bring our troops home, and of course, stand against the genocide ongoing in Gaza, as well as many other things, So, I've seen firsthand the effects of genocide while I was overseas, deployed overseas. We got to make sure that we combat this any way we can and do not repeat it. History, people say history repeats itself. It rhymes. It most certainly does rhyme in different times and different places. We got to learn the lessons of the past and stand up for a more just humankind and planet. Treat each other with respect.
Yeah. Now you're sucking up to the host here with the history rhyming thing. I say that in like every other video. Okay, we do have a gong, so that means we have another super chat. Oh yeah, so let me find it. Oh, we have two of them. Okay. Tiffany says, how do the candidates fight for our public lands / national forest waterways as deregulation and deforestation and drilling is coming to the forefront of the agenda of this administration? Let's start with Branden, since we last hear from you first last time we had this.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of hard for me to say specific, because I feel like it's more of a state specific issue on how they want to handle their land. But I think I definitely advocate for and bring to it the attention against the drilling for the administration, and focus more on those renewables, and basically the things that people actually want in their areas. Like I hear a lot, like what I was saying earlier, the AI data centers, a lot of things going up people don't want or didn't vote for, didn't ask for. We should be listening to our communities.
And anyone else want to chime in on this question?
Yeah, once in Congress, I imagine we're all fighting to make sure that the fossil fuel industry can, kick rocks, hey, tough nuts. I don't care how much oil you want to drill and frack and destroy our environment. I don't care, bro. We're going to do as we've talked about a million times, probably, mentioning the Green New Deal. It could have just been in every single box. You should have a sub comment about circling back to that somehow. But yeah, no, screw these guys. I don't care. Making sure that we can have a sustainable planet for us to live on, that's priority. And making sure that we save public land. We talked about the New Deal a lot, with the, WPA. So 100% on board fighting back against these greedy fossil fuel industries.
I do want to make sure we get to all these. Let me get this one here too. Veronica had another one. I'm sorry. So would you support constitutional reform to change our electoral system to a proportional representation system to break the two-party system? Would you lead the effort if needed? Just give me a thumbs up if you are cool with some kind of proportional representation system. Doesn't have to be immediately. Okay. Yeah. See, again, I mean, we know that a lot of this stuff it's going to take a long time for some of this stuff, but I feel like one reason why I'm so passionate about uncapping the House is because I know that this is the first reform needed on a very long list of reforms. We're talking probably 50 or more reforms that have to be made over the next few years if we want to kind of save this republic. And I think many of these reforms are bipartisan, and it just always everything should be on the table. In fact, I think a lot of people are even screw it. Let's have another constitutional convention. Let's just, I just feel like these are the times for major changes. People have the appetite for it. Okay, we've got to do one more round. I don't want to take too much more of your all time. A lot of people are here for the wheel. Okay. So let's go. Are we back to Sean, right? Okay, yep. Sean. We're going to go one more time through. I'm cross my fingers that you get something good here. Get something juicy. All right, come on. Let's go. You already got that. Oh, okay. Let's go. Come on. Artificial intelligence. Let's go.
So I know the data centers things is a big topic everywhere. In Ohio, we are circulating a petition to get it on the ballot to create a constitutional amendment to ban any new data centers being built that are over, I forget the wattage or whatever, but which I am in favor of. I am not against advancing technology. However, we can't even have the conversation of what this type of technology can be used for and the good that it can do for just humanity as a whole because of how corrupt our government is and how corrupt our industries are and how it is just used to aid in or just basically kind of bolster the surveillance state and to be used as a tool to just hoard and funnel more wealth and power towards the top. So I would love to strip all of that corruption away and get to a point where we can start to use this technology in a way that actually benefits all of us. But simply, I don't think we're there. So I think that we need to just really get our hands around it before it just kind of runs away on us.
Yeah, that's another thing that's really critical about the next few years is we know super intelligence, super artificial intelligence is around the corner. Some say it could be as early as next year. Others are saying it could be 5 or 10 years down the road. But when that happens, what are we going to do? Because we know that governments are going to have to probably step in at least somewhat. So what does that look like? And it seems like a lot of the establishment folks in DC, the older folks especially, don't want to be ageist or anything, but it just seems like they're not really thinking this is an urgent thing. So I'm glad that came up on the wheel. All right. Drew, spin the wheel. Your last one. Make it good. Have you got environment yet? Have you? No, be honest.
I don't think so.
Okay. Environment.
Oh, wait. Maybe I did because I was talking about Green New Deal has
Oh,
healthier
yeah.
environmental outcomes.
I think you were the
Spin it
first
again.
one to say that, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
Lauren Iran. Okay, now we're talking.
I think that this one should be such a no-brainer. Congress should be the one declaring war. Congress is not the one that's decided that we're doing this. So Congress has been bypassed. It's supposed to be Congress's purview to declare war. And now we're at this 60-day window where Trump thinks because of the War Powers Act, he can stay there. It's a complete disaster.
90-day window. Yeah.
90-day window. It's something that so many people on the right were like, no more forever wars. So many people on the left. It's such a bipartisan issue. We have no clear objective. We've bombed a school with one of our own missiles, American-made Tomahawk. It's difficult to see what possible good has come out of it. Some people say, well, since we've bombed them, there's some people there that are happy about that. And there may well be people that are happy that have not been directly hit that are being affected in a positive way. Well, not in a positive way. The state of their country has not gotten better for their citizens since this has started. This has only made things worse for the people that live there. And so it costs us a lot of money, yeah, but what we're doing to destabilize that country and now that whole region, now that Iran has retaliated to so many other countries, it's just completely destabilized it in a way that we won't be able to actually fully realize or articulate for decades.
All right. Thank you, Drew. Yeah. Okay. So this is your last one, Branden. Spin the wheel. Make it a good one. Oh, term limits. Okay. Have you spoken on this one yet? I don't think you have.
I don't think so, no.
All right.
So for me, term limits for Congress, for me, it's 8 years. I hear a lot of talk about between 6 and 12. I think 8 years is plenty. It's 2 presidential terms. As far as SCOTUS goes, I think we definitely need to be. I think term limits for them too. I don't have an answer on how long for that one is. I want to start with Congress because that's where I'm going to be. Start there and then move my way up. I think all offices should have term limits that are elected. Honestly, there should be no lifetime or infinite runnings.
Yeah, I usually for Supreme Court, I used to think there should be no term limits, but then now I'm like, okay, how about a generation?
Yeah. 12.
Well, I think it's even dangerous just for the Supreme Court justices, because if your term is for life, some people in the country might try to shorten that term per se, you know, to try to balance the, especially if your party is control of the presidency. I mean, it's just not safe. So if everyone knew like, hey, like 14 years or something, you are going to get off there, people kind of feel like it's more like justified and for their own safety.
My computer is screwing up. Sorry. Let me see if I can. It froze. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I can't change tabs right now, though. Let's see.
While he's doing that, what are your guys' thoughts? Since we're talking about term limits, so like we're talking about uncapping the House, and have 1,000 representatives for all I care in the House. What are your guys' thoughts about the talks about maybe once we expand the House, removing the Senate, since it's not so much population based, and once we get money out of politics, ranked choice voting or proportional, however system, popular vote for the president. What are your guys' thoughts about removing the Senate way after all these proposals to make it more of like a population based society, like not just like, oh yeah, Wyoming with -2 people in a cornfield versus all of California, equal representation in the Senate?
Honestly, I don't know if I would know enough about that to give an answer. I mean, yeah, it sounds good. I guess it'd just be something as like, I'd want to hear like the potential, again, unintended consequences. But ultimately, I'm a red-blooded American. I love representation, and I want us to have a more say in our government. So I do agree with you.
Or just make the Senate instead of state boundaries, make it like districts, how it is the House, but it's just a different position. It's like, hey, you got put on the Senate committee or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just same roles, just like not.
Listen, I'm all for big, bold changes. I think that's what we need. So ultimately, I'm not taking anything off the table.
Maybe in 200 years we can talk about this conversation.
Yeah, they'll be writing textbooks, they'll be reading textbooks. Jackson Franklin first proposed on the Mr. Beat live stream.
Matt, how you doing?
I definitely think the bicameral legislature worked a lot better at the very beginning, but now, yeah, not so much. The 2 senators and however many representatives has maybe not as got quite the mileage that it used to when the idea first was conceived. Because, yeah, like Wyoming has 2 senators, California has 2 senators. Man, people are dropping like flies.
We'll get him back.
Yeah, I mean, again, like what you said, I don't know. I just feel like we formed that type of government back how long ago? It's like we need to adapt and evolve, and we can still work within our framework, but we need to adapt.
Well, really, we should have been expanding this whole time anyways.
Yeah.
But they passed that proportional representation thing.
Yeah, and a good question that's come up that I saw someone in the chat said, once these people get elected, are they going to want to stick with what they said and stick to term limits? I'll be honest, yeah, I don't want to really make a career. I'm not interested in going to Congress for the career opportunities. I just started running right after I got like hired and got this job and got this, bought a house finally for the first time. And it's more so just a huge sense of urgency. Like we need to, like, white people with the last name of Cox need to step up and do something because ICE is not going to abduct me. Okay. I'm not going to get abducted by ICE. It's like, it's on us. Sorry, we on a little sidebar there while you guys.
No, you're great. So you lost two of us, but I'm back and everyone can hear me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you did a good job carrying on. I was listening on my phone. Good job. So did we even finish this? I don't remember who spun the wheel last. Was it? It was Branden, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I spun it last.
And Jackson's now having issues again. Looks like. All right. Well, it's been over an hour anyway, so we can wrap up things. Well, I want you all to have an opportunity to make a final pitch. If there are voters watching, listening right now, tomorrow, especially for those in Ohio and Indiana, what's your final pitch to tell them that, hey, I'm the person that you should vote for? Let's start with Sean.
So again, I am running for Congress in Ohio's 6th district. So that's like the Youngstown area, Worcester area, Steubenville area. If there is anybody here that lives there or knows people that live there, you have, like 8 hours until the polls open. But I am running not to be a career politician. I think that all of the people in Washington are losers and have failed the American people. And I want to go to Washington to stand up for the workers of this country and this district and just truly be one of the voices that is leading the charge for this change, because we truly are in desperate need of change. And if we don't deliver on that, it's a scary thought of what, the path that we're heading down right now. So that is why I'm asking for your vote. I do believe that I have a plan to really kind of bring some bold changes to this district, as well as the state, as well as the country. And at the end of the day, we still need people just leading that charge, and I want to be one of those.
Great pitch. I love that. Okay. Drew, what's your final pitch to voters?
So tomorrow's the primary in Indiana, May 5th. So I'm in the 4th district again. If you live in the 4th district, that's kind of the west side, west to the south and to the north around Indianapolis. Our campaign, first and foremost, is about people over profits. We think that money in politics has brought tremendous devastation to our society. And so that's what have been building the campaign off of, is literally going around and having people tell me, it's like, what's important to you? So the reason I joined this race was because of what ICE is doing to its citizens, but there are so many other things that are important to us, like affordable housing, affordable healthcare, a society that works for everyone equally. And so please visit drewcox.org to visit or to see more information about where I stand on stuff. And please vote in the primary tomorrow if you live in Indiana or Ohio.
Thanks, Drew. And let's go ahead and go with Branden next, because I want to end with Jackson, with especially reminding people to vote. So Branden, why should folks vote for you?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are tired of the two-party system, especially in Florida. The number of independents is rising. In my district, in Pasco County, there's more independents than there are Democrats. So I think that speaks to a lot of the voter base feeling like they don't have a party necessarily to go to. And I am striving to be something new. I think both Democrats and Republicans establishment has kind of failed the people and focused on themselves for too long. And we need to get back to workers' rights and think about our future and be proactive, more so than reactive.
I love that. I love that. Proactive instead of reactive. All right. And Jackson, finish us off.
Guys, make sure you get out and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow is May 5th, primary day in Ohio and Indiana. And it's also Cinco de Mayo. We're telling everybody, go out and vote and go get some Mexican and get some margs. You deserve it. Make sure you vote progressive, vote for the change you want to see in the future in this country. And, I'm a grassroots progressive running to get money out of politics, fight for healthcare as a human right, no more foreign wars, abolish ICE. And, the world's eyes, not just the nation, the world's eyes are on the 5th district of Indiana. If we can swing this district, which is the most swingable district in the state. Now, I still have hope for my friend Drew up there. But we can take back the House of Representatives, and we can impeach Donald Trump and the rest of his war criminal administration, and we can actually have a system that represents all of us and not just the top 1%. We need your help. Please go to jacksonfranklinforcongress.com, and together we will create a system that truly places, as Drew says, people over profits.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Please check out their websites in the description of this video. Mahalo. I see you there, Malafunk. Good to see you here. Glad you caught this out in Hawaii. And then also your question here. Sorry, urbanism. I'm a big fan. Anti-car. Yeah, I take my e-bike anytime I get the opportunity. Okay, we're going to wrap it up, folks. Again, thank you for being here to spin the wheel. Some of you guys, I'm glad you played along. That's great. So yeah, please, well, Branden, good luck with the rest of your campaign. You have a long ways to go. You're in your early stages. The other guys, I'm just wishing you the best tomorrow. So many good candidates in Indiana and Ohio too. So if whoever doesn't make it past the primary, I hope that we can continue to just stay in touch and just keep this momentum building. Because like I told you all before we started this live stream, I feel like this is the beginning of a new era where we're just going to see a ton of reforms. And it's just going to be because, younger people are finally starting to take power. The millennials and Gen X were finally, and even Gen Z. Let's go. Okay. So thank you all for watching, and have a good night.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much.